Hi everyone, it's Obley here. I have some great news to share with everybody. The new patch for 11.1 will go live February 25th with Season 2 following quickly on March 4th. So here is everything you need to know about DPS DK going into the new patch. So to kick us off, we have the brand new Frost tier set. Your spells and abilities have a chance to activate a winning streak, increasing the damage of your Frost Strike and Glacial Advance by 4%, stacking up to 6 times. Frost Strike and Glacial Advance have a 7% chance to remove winning streak. That's the 2 set, and then the 4 set. Winning streak causes Frost Strike and Glacial Advance to have an 8% chance to cast Frost Scythe per stack at 30% effectiveness. Losing the winning streak buff sends you into a murderous frenzy, casting Frost Scythe at 100% effectiveness and gaining 12% mastery for 6 seconds, and additionally Frost Scythe deals 40% more damage to the first enemy struck. Now this is a much better iteration of the Frost set that we had before, because right at the start it didn't give any buffs, and then its second iteration gave 12% haste, and now it's settled on mastery, which is much better for us. The Frost Scythe dealing 40% more damage to the first enemy struck means that if you spec into Frost Scythe, those Frost Scythes will also deal 40% more damage to the first enemy struck, meaning it could be a pick for a single target breath, something like that. Now next up, Obliterate, Frost Strike, Rime and Breath of Sindragosa have all been buffed slightly. Breath is going to be staying the same as it was before this patch, so no changes to the actual spell itself. There has been a data mine spell, but right now nothing has actually happened with it, and we don't think it's going to do anything. You'll want to still play Dual Wield this patch, as the two-hand, it's not that far behind, it's a little bit behind. I think it's something like 2%, so if you really had to, you could, but if you wanted to min-max, you're still playing Dual Wield. So this is where things get a little bit interesting. It looks like, according to the Sims at the moment, the Shattering Frost build will actually overtake Breath of Sindragosa on single target, so you'll want to be running that. That's with the Riders of the Apocalypse hero talents as well. But if you did want to play Breath, you definitely could, and I mean, the new raid has quite a lot of cleave encounters, so that also helps for Breath too. So realistically, you can play actually anything you want. In addition to all of these, the Glacial Advance spell itself has actually had its look updated. With all the changes that have been made to Frost DK, you are pretty much going to be playing the same build if you're playing Breath of Sindragosa, same talents as well. However, there is an argument to be made that you could switch out Biting Cold for Frost Scythe on single target if you wanted to. The damage is a little bit more with Frost Scythe from my testing, but realistically it's just one extra button to manage, and I don't know if that's really a DPS gain if you think about it that way. Moving on to the Unholy DK changes, we have the new tier set. Your spells and abilities have a chance to activate Winning Streak, increasing the damage of your Death Coil and Epidemic by 3%, stacking up to 10 times. Death Coil and Epidemic have a 15 chance to remove Winning Streak. Now the 4 set, Casting Dark Transformation, instantly grants 10 stacks of Winning Streak, and while Dark Transformation is active, the effectiveness of your Winning Streak is increased by 100%, and it no longer has a chance to reset. This just makes Death Coil damage go through the roof, and it makes Sand Lane quite a desirable hero tree to have. Now the funny thing with this new tier set is you actually won't be looking to replace your previous tier set until you have all 4 pieces and you have them at an average of heroic level or above. So if you have one mythic piece and one normal piece, that's okay, but until then the DPS is not actually better. Now for the spells that have been buffed, we have Soul Reaper, Clawing Shadows and Commander of the Dead, all seeing a buff. The actual damage of our ghouls has been buffed from Apocalypse as well. Our Magus damage has also been buffed, but the duration of any Magus that have spawned from Doomed Bidding has been nerfed from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. The Rider of the Apocalypse actual NPCs damage have been buffed by 10%, so that's just the damage they do. That doesn't include the Fury or any of the debuffs that they put on the mobs. The actual just damage from themselves have been buffed by 10, but this is only for Unholy, not for Frost. Now with these changes, it looks like Sand Lane will be a very dominant hero tree to have on 2 target cleave or anything above. It might even beat out the 2 target cleave that Frost can do. However, on single target, I think you're looking at more like the old school Riders with the pet build. I'm sure all of you Unholy DKs can rejoice with me here, but the Defile spell has had its look updated as well, making it a lot more ground friendly. You can see a lot more things through it now, including enemies and the things that they spawn. I think the question on everyone's lips right now is, what should I play going into the new season? And honestly, I would say that either spec is fine. I know that's not really very productive, but if you're looking for a specific spec to just wholeheartedly go into, then you could play either, because both specs now bring single target and cleave. With the way that the raid looks, it could be anybody's game. We won't really find out until the season actually releases. And even after doing some testing, I would say that I'm leaning more towards Unholy, but don't take that as gospel. I wouldn't say that Unholy is by far any much better than Frost. I just say the current playstyle is actually a little bit nicer. So that is it for now, guys. That is all the major changes happening to DPS DK in Season 2 coming. Hopefully in the next 3 weeks we either don't get touched or we get a buff, but for now I think we're in a pretty decent spot. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.